All right, believe we have audio now. In the past couple of months, I've built a lot of different iPhone rigs, and for the most part, we've been looking at the extremes. What is the craziest setup we can do, which in turn means what is the most expensive accessories we can attach. In this video, in celebration of Black Friday and everyone trying to find the best deals out there, I wanted to take a look at an iPhone setup that is under $100 for the whole thing that is still gonna give you professional results. And before we really get going, I just want to remind you that this is the last weekend that I have 50% off all my digital products. Literally, my entire Resolve guide is $50 right now. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out in the link in the description below. And so the accessories I found are laid out in front of me, and we're going to dive into them, which includes the 𝗖𝗛𝗙𝗖𝗞 microphone, which is what I clipped on me at the beginning of this video. And this entire YouTube video is recorded using the audio from this microphone. But more on that in a few minutes. The three main accessories that we're talking about today come out to literally like $95, so just under $100. So one of the biggest accessories that you could have for one of the latest iPhones is an SSD. That's going to open up a whole world of professional results that you can get. So this little SSD from 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞 that of course you can just plug in to the bottom of your phone, and this makes for a great minimal setup. If you are just trying to use your phone to unlock ProRes RAW, this may be the setup for you because again, you can keep this connected, throw it in your pocket, and you'll be good to go. Now, I will say this one right here for the, at the time of this recording, $24, $25 is only 128 gigs. There is a 512 version and there potentially maybe a 1 terabyte version, I forget, that obviously those will cost more, but 128 gigs, if you're just going around and you're shooting a bunch of, 10 to 20 second clips of family, friends, having fun, you're not doing like recording a very long like interview or session like this, 128 gigs is gonna get you further than you may think. These little accessories I have talked about so many times on this channel. They are essentially different versions of USB adapters that change the angle of a USB port. So for example, the 𝗖𝗛𝗙𝗖𝗞 receiver that is currently plugged into my other iPhone, because again, this is recording the audio for this video, this takes up a USB port, and so we wouldn't have room for our SSD or vice versa. So there's this little adapter right here. Everything's going to be linked in the description below. This one has a USB 2.0 and a 3.1 port. If you wanted this to look a little crazier, you could get a couple of these adapters, and basically I would plug this guy into the 3.1 port. The 𝗖𝗛𝗙𝗖𝗞 receiver would go in the other USB port right there. And then if you really wanted it to look as nice as it could, we have a 180 adapter. So you can see this looks kind of silly, but it is incredibly functional. So if you want to put this whole thing on like a mobile gimbal, this like whole little contraption here weighs like nothing. And that would give you an SSD and audio with the receiver plugged into there. Now again, if you got all of these receivers, it would put you a little bit over the $100. Each of these receivers is probably between $4 and $8 a piece. So they're still very, very cost effective. So let's talk about the 𝗖𝗛𝗙𝗖𝗞 Again, they are the sponsor of today's video. Shout out to 𝗖𝗛𝗙𝗖𝗞. And I've been testing these out a little bit. And again, for $40, what do you get? You're not going to get like 32-bit flow, onboard recording, professional features like that we've been talking about in some other mics. But again, those mics are $200, $300, $400 a piece. For under $50, you are going to get 2 lavs and a receiver. And the one thing that I really like about one of the sets that they have is you can actually get a version with a black option and it comes with one white. And I actually like having one of each because you never know if you're going to use these on an interview for yourself or for someone else that you're interviewing, what color shirt everyone's going to wear. And they just auto connect here. And by pulling this one out, I can see the secondary green light pop up on the receiver, on the bottom of the receiver right here. So this mic is meant to be very plug and play. I know there's a ton of people out there who don't want a fuss with a bunch of different settings. There's no EQ setting that you would dive into or anything like that. I'll throw up some cards on the screen of the technical specifications of this. Really, the only specs that matter to me is the fact that they have 100-meter distance. So it's got a good amount of range between the receiver and the lav. I also like the fact that if you're using both lavs, they basically go to separate channels. So if I was standing somewhere nice and quiet, I can have my levels balanced. And then if someone else I was talking to and I put the second lav on was like next to something really like loud and I had to eliminate some background noise in post, they're on a whole separate channel so I can split them. You're not muddled together, or if you have people talking over one another. And again, the receiver just plugs in via USB-C, so you can plug this into a phone, into a computer, and even some action cameras like the Osmo Pocket. Another thing is the lavs only weigh 6 grams, so as you can see, it's not like pulling down the side of my jacket or anything like crazy. It does have a USB-C pass-through that you can use for charging, so you never have to worry about battery drains. And with the charging case, you can get up to 30 hours worth of use. So each lav will last for about 6 hours. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to charge. It's got a nice little screen on the front to tell you how much charge is left. Honestly, it's pretty amazing what you can get in the audio department for 40 bucks nowadays. And finally, the thing that I get comments on a lot is a ND filter. Now, obviously, ND filters that go on cases is a big thing, but it's a little hard to find camera phone cases that, again, complete a whole setup for under 100 bucks. I don't think I could find anything out there where I could like attach lenses or filters to. So the answer was clip-on filters. And obviously there's a plethora of options out there. Some way worse than this one, perhaps some better, but this one I really liked that I found. This is a clip-on filter and it comes with a ND2 to ND400 variable ND. And what's cool is this is essentially just a 67 millimeter ring. So if you want to put on different filters, you can use this clip. There's a lot of filters that have like a ND 2 to 5, which is great, but maybe it's really, really sunny outside. So it's not going to give you the ability to have like the proper shutter speed or ISO settings that you want on your phone. ND 2 to 400, although again, I'm sure this isn't the highest quality glass out there, I didn't see any major shifts in the ND, and it definitely gives you the full range from just a little bit of ND to your borderline staring at the sun. Please don't do that and fry your sensors. Yes, technically a downside to the clip-ons is they cover a little part of your screen, but the advantage I like is they cover all 3 of the cameras. So if you want to sift through all of your different camera angles on your phone, you don't have to adjust the filter at all. And then you just twist this to lower or strengthen the ND to whatever levels you need. Crazy simple to use. Again, if we plug in our SSD on the bottom, if I had the 𝗬𝗨𝗙𝗙 receiver on the bottom with these little adapters, that would complete our setup. It's ultra minimal. All of these accessories are crazy easy to come off. Something like this is still gonna work even if you have a case on your phone. And all of these things will give you more professional results than just filming with your basic phone yourself, and a great starting point to any iPhone filmmaker's dream kit. If you guys have any comments on this stuff, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out all these different accessories in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving and Black Friday shopping. See you guys in the next video.